And welcome back to week 3! Time goes by so fast! Number 7! Whoa, that's too many! Of Panda training. So we're gonna get right into it. If you're just now joining us for the first time, this is our 7th session, but we're going to be going over most of the stuff that we went over on the very first session. So if you've got some sweatpants and a loose fitting shirt and you feel like doing a little exercise and sweating a little bit, then join us, because that's why we're here. And then after this session, if you want to go back and try out the beginning, then we've got all of our streams recorded and in chronological order. So you can start with number 1 all the way to today, number 7. Because I will say the first couple of days are a little bit easier, but we haven't included a whole bunch of stuff since then. We've more so just kind of added on top of what we've already done. So we're going to do the same thing today. Are you ready?
Hi.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna top off my water.
Spilled water on my sail. So, we're gonna start off with some stretches. Looks like Micah is just out of luck on this one.
No.
Yep, that's it. Boat left the port. Train left the station. The plane has left the runway. The car is out of the garage, and it's not going home. Also, if you've watched previous streams and you've followed along with us, but you have some questions, just put them in the comments and we can go over and review some stuff that's giving you a hard time. That's why we're here.
That's why she's here. I know nothing.
Mm-hmm. I swear it was just a cold piece of chum flew straight into my eye. It looks like I'm doing a one eye for this whole time. It's because something got in my eye. It also contributed to the fact that we started about 5 minutes late today. Sorry about that. I take full responsibility. Total responsibilidad. Face front, no balance. Sideways, balance. Why does that always happen? Alright. Oh, you done with that one? We're gonna reach for our toes. Micah loves this one. How's he doing for you?
It's still pretty rough, but
straight down. Nice and easy. Just let your arms dangle there. Take deep breaths. when you exhale, really try to relax your muscles, your inner thighs. The muscles around your knees might be tensing up. Relax them too. The back of your legs. Okay, now slowly raise yourself up. If you're like Micah and you have fainting goat syndrome, you don't want to give your body any extra chances to drop out on you.
I'll pass out.
Okay, now we're going to widen our legs about a foot away from each shoulder.
Sorry, I'm stretching my tricep.
Arms out. And we're going to take one arm and go to the opposite foot. And we're going to look up to the sky. Oops. Sorry. Okay, now bring your arms to the middle and cross directions. Okay. Now arms straight down. Try to touch the ground with your hands. You don't want your knees to be bent. But you don't want to like lock them. But you want them to be straight.
Should my legs be closer together?
A little bit, yeah.
They just feel better.
Yeah, no, because you have such buoyant. It's like cheating if you can cheat with a stretch. Oh, I can touch the ground. That's what's crazy, is you have good horizontal stretchiness. Okay, now turn your hands around and walk your palms back a couple steps. Alright, now relax. And again, slowly raise yourself back up. Beautiful. Especially in your condition. Sounded like we were joking, but he is prone to fainting here and there, so.
More so just like blackout when I stand up too quick.
Oh yeah, the blackouts. I guess that's different.
I guess it could be fainting. My legs are too long for my blood flow.
Now again, try to pull your toes towards you, and now you're gonna reach out to touch them. Now, we're gonna start with our right foot, bring it across your other leg, about halfway between your knee and your hips. And you're gonna pull your knee to your chest. And you should feel this one all the way down to your buttocks.
See, like, this is... Does this stretch your left leg at all? I stretch on my left leg as well. Just having it, like, straight flat. Like, I could feel it behind my knee. So, I think my vertical flexibility will definitely improve. Stop looking at me like
By
that.
doing all this stuff. She even did a tiny tail.
I know.
You're hanging in there, pop.
She's like, you're gonna make it pop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like the equivalent of someone when they put their hand like this and they're like, you alright?
What are you doing there, bud?
Yeah, exactly.
Tough looking job.
Ugh, I'm all stretched up.
This one's still my favorite though.
I had no idea that stretches your bottom leg. That's so weird.
If my foot is straight, it stretches it. And also sitting flat against the wall.
Jesus.
I know, sitting completely like this, that stretches.
Jesus.
I wonder why it's so wet.
Because you sounds like you've just never done it. Well, talked about that before. Here. Put your feet up against that couch. Turn your sayo. Put your feet up against that couch. So that they stay flat. Foot up. Scoot up more. Are they flat?
I thought so.
There you go, yeah. Okay?
This is gonna be bad.
You know what happens next. I'm over here trying to get like the perfect angles, like when you're on stage, you know? And it's like, oh no, I can't cross over that side. I have to leave my body open this way. No. Unless you're gonna hold pops. Stop. Oh wait. Oh, she never smelled my new shirt. Our dog takes catalog of us. If we change clothes, she has to smell our new clothes. Now she's happy. Alright, I'm gonna hold your knees. Furetto. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And really try to relax these muscles. Relax your thigh. You just tensed them up.
Sorry, I'm trying to sit straight.
That's relaxed. Okay. Now, go ahead.
What, Lane?
Yeah. Breathe deeply. Breathe in. Yeah, and then when you breathe out, relax these muscles right here. Relax them. They're so tight.
Are they?
Something that helps me is go ahead and like, you know how you can like pull your knees up? Yeah, do that. Inhale.
Goroshka, pop up. Pop up. Pop up. Why?
Pop up! She literally refused. To the point where I lifted her butt instead of popping up. She was just like, okay. Arms up. Okay, lean forward. Now breathe in and squeeze them like you're gonna raise your knees up. Then when you exhale, yeah, let them go. There you go. That's a little bit better. I'll do it again. Squeeze them. Yeah, there you go. extra in.
I'm gonna get all the help I can get, Martha.
Oh my god. So, now that we're all stretched up, let's get a little extra water.
Jesus.
And we're gonna get straight into our windmills. We love them. Oh, we gotta do our salute. What is this?
Hey.
Ching Kai Shek. Chi So Su. Nay. Now in your position. Now we start our windmills. You want to be in your front horse stance. Knees bent. Yes.
Lock.
Remember, feet are facing forward, not out this way, in with this way, straight. It's going to be difficult for some people because they might be naturally, outward footed or inward footed. So, just remember, it's going to take a while for your ankles and your Achilles tendon areas to stretch out. So, now, knees out. Knees should never be facing inward. Demonstrate. They should never be like this. This is very bad.
The I gotta pee stance.
Yes. Knees out. Beautiful. Look at that. He's like you could trace the outline of a box with those knees. That's how they need to be. Also, hips tucked underneath you. Don't leave your butt sticking out. And it shouldn't make you hunch over. If you tuck your hips too much, your back kind of naturally wants to curl forward. So remember, just your shouldn't be sticking out, but your hips should be tucked so that you feel like you could drive a stick through your spine and you'd be beautifully perfect straight. And we begin. Now remember, just like we discussed in session number 4, today I want to focus again on making sure your whole body feels connected. Okay, so you keep going. You don't stop, no matter what. Make sure you're making big circles. Don't shorten them.
Is that bui?
They're bui. Just don't go, don't go like tiny elbow. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. So, this first speed is Tai Chi Chuan. And this speed is more so like the easy, happy-go-lucky mode, where you use this time to try to feel the connection with your legs, hips, your arms, and your core even. Okay, so while we're doing these upward windmills, it's not just your arms moving, it's your whole body moving to drive your arms upward and back down and up and back down again. So, to do that, if your right arm is coming up, while it's out here on the side, about to come down, is when your right knee is going to drop a little bit towards the front, and it's basically going to follow the motion of that right arm. So it drops a little bit towards the front, and also your hip. You'll find when you drop that knee towards the front, your hip also rolls towards the front on the right side. And your arm comes down. And at this point, you kind of rock your hip back again. So you comes forward and back again. And your knee also, when you pushed it forward along with your hip, your knee also comes back to that square position that I demonstrated with Micah. And your hip also squares up and gets tucked underneath you very tight to try to pull that arm across. Okay? So with one arm, this is what it's like. See, your body's never just a still, flat, lifeless board that your arms are attached to. No, your whole body is involved in doing the windmill. So that's one side. Then obviously you do the same thing with the other side, except both are going on at the same time. When you first start doing this, you will most likely feel a lot of tension in your upper thighs, back thighs, and your calves. Because remember, you should also be grabbing the ground with your toes, scrunching them up against the ground like this. Not balling them up, but pulling them up against the ground. So they're like, almost like hands that are trying to make a suction against the ground.
Do you find that the arch of your feet get sore?
Yeah.
By grabbing the ground?
Yeah, because that whole muscle is always like tense.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure I'm not doing it wrong.
And especially if you're more flat-footed like I am and like you are, we definitely feel that muscle tension more than I think some people that have like a the full arch of the foot. So here we are, alternating in our hips, and by doing this, your whole stomach up through your chest is getting involved in this natural push and lift motion. Push and lift, okay? Now, when we go into Paltron, which is doing it as fast as you can, again, it's not just your arms going really fast. No, it's your whole body moving. So, what you do is you take the same motion from using your legs and hips and your core to bring that arm around. And when we go into Paltron, that's why I always say take a deep breath and then we go into Paltron, because taking the breath helps to bring in your stomach, raise it up, and then if you tighten it up even more and really grab the ground with your toes, so you tense up your stomach, not to bend forward and really flex it, but just to tense it up, try to pull it in to yourself, so inward, raise your chest a little bit. After that inhale, keep the tension in your stomach and use that tension to basically move your body with your legs and your hips, and your arms are more so just an extension, and you'll find you'll be able to get more speed and you'll be able to keep more control of your arms when everything else is engaged at the same time. So you grab the ground, You've got your, hips tucked underneath you. And you tighten your stomach, you pull it into yourself, and you use the same motion, same circular motion with the knees and the hips to pull your arms around with your whole body. If you were to slow it down, I'm making the same motion. My body's almost like a whip. It starts down at my legs, through the hips, through my core, and the arm, it's just the end of the whip. It's just the ricochet. Everything else that's happening, or the majority of what's happening, is all in my legs, my hips, my stomach. And the arm, think of it as a byproduct. You're just getting your body. And then you go into Sheng Chuan.
What do we go to Pao Chuan?
No, we're not going to Pao Chuan.
Oh, okay.
I said, don't stop no matter what.
Oh,
And you
doing
stopped.
Dai Chi Chuan?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I've been doing. I just want to make sure.
And don't shorten your circles.
I'm not sure, no.
Lower your stance.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you transition into Sheng Chuan after Pao Chuan, everything is already tight. You shouldn't have to do your Pao Chuan. Then you go to Sheng Chuan and I say, grab the ground, tighten your stomach. It's like, oh, now I have to tighten everything. No, they're already tight. Now you just slow it down and then squeeze the hands and add that tension to the arms. Because everything else was already moving. So if you find that when we go from Tai Chi Chuan to Pao Chuan to Sheng Chuan, and I say make sure you tighten your stomach, and you're like, oh, my stomach wasn't tight. Or I say grab the ground, and you're like, oh, my toes were just normal, just flopping there. Make sure your hips are tucked, and you're like, oh, got to tuck my hips. That means that most likely during Pao Chuan, you're putting all the strain into your arms instead of letting your body help you to move your arms. So, with that in mind, make sure you have the ground grabbed with your toes. Your hips are tucked underneath you. And try to feel that motion. Because it's the same no matter what stance you're in. When we turn to the side, you should still use your hips to help you move your arms. This generates the power from your legs. So, we're going to take our deep breath, and we're going to go into Pao Chuan. And use your whole body. Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. Now we're going to transition to the left, your left side horse stance. You're going to keep that Sheng Chuan on this one. And then when you transition to the side, you go back to Tai Chi Chuan. So Sheng Chuan. Tai Chi Chuan. Remember, when you turn, since you should already be tight anyway, because you're in Sheng Chuan, when you turn, you should be able to feel that timing as you're coming across. You naturally want to turn and drive your heel into the ground with that back leg. Well, what's now the back leg. And then when you transition into Tai Chi Chuan, from the front, when you turn, use that last second, that last turn to the side to drive your heel down, like you're about to start running. Drive your heel down, and then really try to feel that hip come square. And when you go from Sheng Chuan to Tai Chi Chuan, really try to whip your hip to feel your arms, because you should have more relaxed arms. You can stop clenching your fists and get a more free-flowing feeling.
Or you want me to do the transition?
That's what I thought you were doing. Heel down.
Oh, I thought I kept it down.
Nope. Better. Way better. Now try to...
Trying to figure out how to, without picking up my heel, you just slide it.
Right. And you use the force from turning. See? So my whole leg. See, feel it. Just by being easy showing, my whole leg still is engaged. And you use that to keep your heel down, to torque yourself. It's all about the torque. So imagine this turning, like when we do these ups and downs, you're doing the same thing with your body. Better?
Yeah, I'm mostly just getting caught on the carpet.
See, I can tell you're used to flaming around, turning on the balls of your feet. Oh, you at Starbucks? Skirt, 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 skirt. It's not like that. You have to think about you turn with the middle of your foot, like there's a pin down through the middle of your foot. So you don't turn on your heels, you don't turn on the balls of your foot. Your foot just turns around a central point. See, like that. Boom. So both sides. You don't rely more on one side versus the other side. See, yeah. There you go. That was pretty good. Even though you just did like a little boop.
Is that better?
Okay, pretty good. Alright, one more. And really get your hip into it and whip it and keep and do the Tai Chi Chuan motion afterwards. And use that, feel that when you release all that tension, try to feel how much freedom you have afterwards. Do it again.
I lose my balance.
Alright. And hopefully you too are practicing. Whenever we practice our transitions, you practice too. I don't care if you're like, I got it, that's it, I'm golden. Well then, if you've got it, then definitely practice. Practice that movement over and over again. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, are you in proper form or do you need to move? Uh-huh.
If that works for you.
Now, we've all transitioned. Roll on our side horse stances. Our hips are square. We didn't leave our hip behind. We're bending our front leg. We're not just standing here with two straight legs like we're making the letter A. No. Front leg is bent. Feet both facing forward. You're grabbing the ground with your toes. And again, even though we're facing the side now, you still use your hips. You know, imagine you're trying to learn how to dance like the cha-cha or something, the salsa, where every movement you involve a little hip. Okay? You don't just want to, if you find yourself just standing here doing this, rigid like a breadstick, that means you gotta loosen up those hips. Use your legs and your hips to help you move your arms. They're the main things that move the arms. The arms, they're just there because everything else is there. Okay, and again, when we go into Pao Chuan, tighten up your stomach. Bring it in, keep it tight. And use that tension to whip your arm around. Right. Gonna take a deep breath. Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. Now we're going to transition to the other side. Complete 180 degrees. And again, stay in Sheng Chuan until you reach the other side. So you're going to stay in Sheng Chuan. Transition, transition, really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then when you come right at the end where you're about to put your hip forward and drive your knee into the ground, transition into Daiji Chuan. And use that release of all that tension to really whip your arms before you settle back into a more even pace.
So hard to keep my balance.
So take this time to practice that full turn. This full turn is like doing a transition. Square hips at the end.
I
There you go. This transition that we do while we're doing these windmills from one side to the other side, this is almost the maximum range of motion that you can get in a transition. So definitely practice this. Wow, you kept this heel down really nice, but there wasn't much of a whip.
Yeah, I was up on the TV.
Oh yeah, come on, take space. That's why I backed off, is so you can just go at it. So, if you practice this particular transition while we're practicing it, you'll be able to transition to nearly 100% of everything else that we do. This one transition helps with so much. So don't miss your opportunities to practice. And if you see me correcting something that Mike is doing, then, check yourself. See, oh, was I doing that? Or if I'm trying to explain something to Micah and it clicks for you, then that's awesome, because that's why we're here. Woo! Pretty good.
I don't know if I gotta move my foot more.
Like before you turn?
Yeah.
What's going to be the new front foot? Ooh.
It still needs to be like that. Hi.
Nice. There's only that tiny bit. So you're doing your windmill, so it doesn't have to be like way too much, like there. Alright. That was a good one. Do one more just like that. You're beautiful. You're golden. See, when Micah first started off, he was losing balance. Couldn't keep his heel down. Beautiful. Now look at him. He's got his hips straight, his heels down. He's making big circles. Boom! With just a few repetitions of the transition. He's like a whole new man now with his transitions. Hopefully everybody is settled into their stance, doing your windmills, grabbing the ground, using your legs and your hips, legs and hips to help you move these arms. And you're going to take a deep breath. And go into Paltron. Shangchuan. Make sure your hips didn't get out of whack. Make sure you're still grabbing the ground. Now we're going to transition to the front. Maintaining this Sheng Chuan. Remember, you bend that front leg. You whip it to the front. Very nice. Let me watch again. Your breathing's very nice today. Nice and deep, nice and deep. Sometimes it feels like you have to force yourself to breathe deeply. Because it's just like when you get done running, you want to, but you can't. Beautiful. Very nice. Oh. Okay. So from our Sheng Chuan, transition to the front. And we switch directions. So now, with the upward windmills, so if you start with one side, as your arm's about to come up, you dip your hip forward, and as it comes up, you also push your knee forward, and it kind of makes your hip do this number. As your arm comes around, you lift it up, and now your hip is tucked underneath you again, and you alternate that way. With the downward windmills, you're going to also use your legs and your hips, but it's going to be slightly different. So to come downward, you come across, and while you're coming across, that's when that leg on the same side as your arm is going to push forward, and as it comes down, see my other side has kind of tucked up behind me a little bit, and this hip is very prominent. Then as I bring it down, this, if you think about it as this motion here, when either of your arms is right here, if you think of the windmill as you're trying to turn a turbine to build up momentum, or like a, what are those never-ending machines? Perpetual motion. If you think of them as a perpetual motion device, then you use your, on this section, when you pull your arm, don't stop no matter what.
Sorry,
Don't stop till you get enough. Don't stop so bad.
Alright, turning this off.
I can do that. You don't stop, no matter what. I told you. You use this downward motion, and when you're right here, and you think of this as the perpetual motion, this right here, this is the arc that keeps your arms moving. Not just the speed, not from the weight of your arms dropping down, but from the motion of your hip, which is now slightly forward, and your leg, which is now slightly turned towards the inside. From that coming back and squaring up with itself again, that motion of squaring up is just like when we transition from the side back to the front. From the side to the front. See how this hip, they go from this way, your hips, boom, they're square. My knees have, you know, kind of thrown themselves back into shape, that box shape that we were talking about earlier. If you think about them that way, the hip getting back in your knee, getting back into position and ready for the next drop, that's your perpetual motion. That's the moment. where all of that energy gets put to use to just create more energy. So then, of course, you have to alternate. So you've got one coming down, the hip is forward, the knee on the same side is also forward, slightly facing inward. Then it comes back around and I'm square again. And as it's doing that, of course, the other arm's coming through, and you see what naturally happens. As one finishes, the other one just naturally follows. Now this is the hip that's slightly forward. This is the knee that's also facing inward just a bit. And while this arm is out, about to come back in, the hip is also back, out, open. This one is following the motion of my arm. And when it comes down, boom. Again, you square up your hips, throw that knee out, and you use that to keep your motion going. Let's see, Neoplum says, how many days will it take me to become a Kung Fu master? Neoplum, as long as you train, you can become a master of your own body. But, you know, the only people that would be Kung Fu masters would be the people who have trained until the day they die, honestly. Because you're always learning. So, there you go. And then Hunter B says, hi guys, what's up? We should do some funny challenges. I don't know about that, Hunter. I think we'd probably be too tired for some challenges.
Also, hello from England.
Oh! Precariat Android. Hello from the USA. Is this Tai Chi Chuan? Yes, it is Tai Chi Chuan. Very nice. Okay. You ready? Are you using your hips? Okay. So now that we're starting to put these motions together, alternating one side, then the other side, and we're using this momentum to propel us and to build momentum up over and over and over and over. Now, if you grab the ground, and again, I like to use the deep breath before the Paltron, because this way it kind of gets you already ready to get your stomach tight, get your hips underneath you, and to keep everything together, just like when we were doing the upward windmills, to use your body more so than just standing here flailing your arms about, but to use your body to whip your arms like the perpetual motion. And now you just push it as fast as you can and try to feel your body, your legs and your hips creating the momentum instead of you having to force your arms to cooperate. Feel it in your legs, in your hips, in your stomach. Make sure you grab the ground. And take your deep breath. And Paltron. Chong-chong. And again, from Paltron to Sheng Chuan, you should already be grabbing the ground. Your stomach should already be tense. The only difference is now you get your arms behind it. Squeeze them. And again, you're not just moving slowly. No, you're engaging every last muscle. Like you're flexing in the mirror by moving in circles. Like you've got a handle on a big wheel and you're trying to turn it, but it's so heavy. You have to feel that constant tension.
I got more questions.
Very cool. Does this have a martial application, or is it more the Qigong side of Tai Chi Chuan? Qi cultivation? I'd say it does have martial application, but it's definitely more of the Qigong side. With the martial application, it's really just you find these movements in other movements. You know, so if you think of this as like the foundation that can be used in later things, then that's where it would come from. Now we're going to transition to your left, which would be alright, just like when we did the upward windmills. You're going to keep this Shengchuan, and then once you transition to the side, right before you drive that heel into the ground, you come around, and then Tai Chi Chuan. And remember, use that release of the tension not as a time to relax your arms or to relax your core, but use that to feel how you can turn this tension into momentum. Like it?
Get out of my nook.
You're like, well, now that your ass is out of the way, I can do something. He said, oh, very cool. Nice. Okay, try it again. And try to notice where that wobble comes from. You got a slight wobble when you are fully turned.
Is that it? Was the wobble gone?
Thanks for following the dojo fun time. Turn. Very nice. Now, did you have a wobble, or is that from losing balance, or were you just...
It was that.
Oh, okay.
Just like when we...
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know how you have the...
Yeah. I gotcha.
That was...
Alright, one more. From the front to the side.
Oh yeah. Too many.
Okay, let's see. Precariat Android says... Nice. Alright, keep it. And remember, raise your arms a little bit higher. There you go. Precariat Android says, so are you sinking the chi, engaging the dantian? My pleasure entirely. Well, this is only our 7th day, Precariat Android, so as far as doing the training, we haven't discussed really anything with the dantian or the chi or anything like that. We are still doing it, but we're not using very technical terms, if that makes sense. We've tried to treat this as, if you're starting from the very, very baby bottom, newborn baby bottom, then that's where we're starting from. But we still do go over a proper breathing, making sure your entire body is engaged. And we do a lot of the same things, you know, but it's basically just keeping it more movement oriented for now before we get into everything else. Look at you, I see you using your hips. Okay, so I'm gonna rejoin Micah. Now remember, you're not just stiff moving your arms. Just like when we were facing the front, you can still use your hips and your legs to guide your arms in these windmills. And this is the time to try to feel it, practice it. Okay. Make sure you're grabbing the ground with your toes. Make sure you take your deep breath and then you maintain that tension in your stomach. And feel the hips and the legs working to really whip these arms instead of just your arms moving as they can. Okay, here we go. Deep breath. Pouch one. Shantron. Again, make sure you're grabbing the ground with your toes. Remember, you're turning this big, like a big stone wheel, so heavy that everything is engaged. Not just your arms, your stomach, your legs. Now we're going to stay in Shangchuan as we transition all the way to the right side. And just like when we came from the front to the left side, going all the way. Again, this is nearly a full range of motion for a transition. So, I'm going to turn, 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 turn. And while you're in Shangchuan, try to feel that tension with your arms, translate it into the legs, and back again. How everything is spring-loaded so that when you turn and you're ready to drive that heel into the ground and square up your hips, use the release of the tension to go back into Tai Chi Chuan as momentum so that you don't lose anything. So when you come around, you're tight, 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 tight. Then you're gonna whip everything into place. Hey, that was way better. That's great. Head up again. Precariat says just 7 days in. Very impressive. Well, it's early days. So yeah, save the technical side till later on. Focus on movement and breathing is absolutely what matters at the moment. Thumbs up. Okay. Precariat, do you also do Kung Fu? Or do you train in other martial arts? That's crazy. That's so much better than when we did the upwind mills. Alright, one more. Nice. Got a kid. Beautiful. Okay. Alright. Why am I even here, you know?
Oh, please.
What the heck? Alright, guys. It's just gonna be you and Micah from now on. That's it. You don't need me. All I do is remind everybody of what they're forgetting to do anyway. Okay. Okay. Again, feel the connection from your hips through your legs. Feel your hips coming around every time your arms come around. But don't sacrifice your circles. Keep them big. There you go. Nice and tall. There you go. Nice and tall. Beautiful. Make sure you keep that front leg bent. So you can just barely see the toes when you look over your knee. Okay. Now, make sure, again, you're grabbing the ground. Make sure you're using your hips, but you're not letting them slide away and start facing forward on you. No. Square your hips. Grabbing the ground. Now you're going to take your deep breath, and then you're going to keep your stomach in tight while we go into Powtron. Okay? Powtron. Shongchuan. Make sure you're breathing deeply. You haven't let your breath get shallow. Alright, precariat. Okay, now while we're staying in Shangchuan, we're going to transition to the front. So again, as your arm comes around, face front, so you're going to throw your knees square, hips under you. And again, when you release the tension from that dynamic tension, instead of just losing the tension, going back into easy breezy, no, use that for momentum. Change it into speed. So, Shangchuan. Now we're going to come to the front. Hey! Alright, let's see it. Let's see it, mister. Practice a couple of times and I get it real fast. One more time.
That's a little bit.
Okay, one more. I mean, it might not be one more. I don't want to say one more and then you end up doing more than one. So just like when you're going from one side to the other side, when you're about to transition, oh, now's the time to bring this leg back so that you're in line with each other again. Because you're leaving this one forward. So your last stance, instead of like this, ends up being like this.
Oh, okay.
See?
Gotcha.
Oh, I studied Hatha Ashtanga Yoga for 3 years also. Very nice! See, he's still forward.
So it, oh, I see.
Do it again and pull that foot back. Well, precariat. I've been doing this particular style of Kung Fu for forever now. Feels like 15 years. And I firmly believe...
Is that better?
Do it one more.
Still go a little more back.
I firmly believe in the fact that it does improve your immune functions. I think so. I mean, I feel like I'm a walking example of it. Very nice. But then again, I've never had to deal with anything that was very hard on my body, like cancer or any other disease. But as far as just everyday overall health, I think it has definitely impacted my entire life. Not just while I'm doing the art, but in other areas as well. So I think it's awesome that you're pursuing it. And Kale says, can we play the Matrix soundtrack in the background? Carrie says, thank you. 15 years. Very impressive. All funds. Exercise in general will improve your immune system. You are right, Alphonse. But then there's the things that really push you to the next level. Starts the Matrix soundtrack. Okay. Bend a little more. You know where we're going. Do you want a water?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a water. And if anyone is following along with us, then please get some water as well. So you know what's coming next if you were with us for the last couple of training sessions. Also, Precariat, if you want to take a look at some of our earlier stuff from day one, we record each sesh. And we start from, just like the basics. I think our first session was mainly just getting the movement of the windmills and the transitions. Like, we start from that beginning newborn baby, smack it on the bottom, that fresh. And then the second time we built on that, third time we built on that. And then, for those with a little bit more, wherewithal in the art, our fourth session goes a lot more into transitions and movements and keeping your body very similar to what we're going over today, but a lot more in depth with number 4. And then, so now we're here, and we've added some stuff in to our regimen, and so yes. Yeah, I would have to agree. There's a certain amount of peer-reviewed evidence that demonstrates that it definitely improves immune function. It's absolutely powerful stuff. Wow, that's awesome, Precariat. That's what we should do, is actually look at, if they've got it published in journals, peer-reviewed. Yeah. Back in my day, there's no study. Okay, come on.
So when are you two going to fight to the death?
Oh my god, I didn't even see that.
Every day.
Every day is a fight. Now we're just in the long fight to the death to see who makes it the longest.
It's gotta be me.
Oh, okay. Thanks. writing me off like that. Alright, come on.
What?
Get in your,
Stands?
yes. Oh wow, thanks. I'll check out the earlier stuff too. Thanks so much. No problem, Precariat. Thanks for hanging out with us. Longevity is the art of winning. Oh my god. You ready? Alright, so for this next part, if we don't see some of the messages very quickly, don't give up on us. We'll check them. Just sometimes I tend to forget about them, and I don't check them for a while. So, you ready? Okay. So now, again, this first exercise will be mainly for range of motion, more so than learning how to punch something. You know, if you think of like shadow boxing, that's more in line with what this is. But yes, first we go to our downward windmills. Bend your knees. Alright. Alright. And just like with every time so far, we use this last section to really try to get that Pao Chuan, hold it a little bit longer. Take that Sheng Chuan and hold it a little bit longer than we have thus far. Okay, you ready?
Right.
Okay, we're gonna take a deep breath. And Pao Chuan. Sheng Chuan. And really squeeze them, squeeze them. Now, in the transition, make sure your elbows are not sticking out. Make sure they're tucked in. You said it hurts?
Yeah.
Your thing? Yeah. Okay, make sure your shoulders aren't rolling forward. Keep them back. Make sure they're not scrunching up on you. Keep them down. Okay, now remember, you can relax them. Remember, you hold your hands on your hips at the start of your hip, okay? You're not holding them down here, not way up here. I don't know why you would, you never know. And also, while we're going through our emotions, you don't let them start to slip forward. Very common. Also very common to let your elbows start sticking out. Keeping your elbows in is going to be one of, if not the hardest part. And keeping them back. Keeping them back, elbows in. Dog's dreaming, I guess. Okay. Now, remember we're going to go through the 3 speeds with these. So, start off with, just like everything else, you're not tense, you're not putting a lot of, strain into the first speed. But what you are doing is focusing on full range of motion, getting your form down, feeling how your leg and your hip is used to push these fists out from the side. See? It follows your hand. Then right at the end, okay, and you twist them, get that last distance. Also, that last section where your hip comes forward, that last twist is also the time where your hip gives a little extra behind it as well. So like I said at the beginning, today we're going to be pretty much doing another in-depth look at how you use your entire body together, not just your arms moving by themselves or your legs. Okay, so we're out here. Remember, don't let these hands drop. Keep them about eye level. You should just barely see over the tops of your knuckles, okay? Now, make sure you're not letting your hips get out and your butt starting to stick out. Keep your hips tucked underneath you. Make sure this hand hasn't started to slide. We've only done one punch, and this hand's already sliding, isn't it? Pull them back. Now, so one comes out, the other one comes back in, and again, just like with the windmills, your body is naturally alternating. So as this hip comes out, and as this leg bends to push all this power through this fist, this side tucks in, just like how your arm is tucking itself in. Okay, so you alternate them. Then at the end, you get that last, like you're, just like how we were doing the windmills. And I said it's more so like your arm is a whip. Your body does all the work, and your arm is just following the motion, and it's the whip at the end. This hand is also just the whip at the end of your body, your legs doing all the work. Okay? We're gonna keep going. Nice and slow. Even if you feel like, oh, I've got that. I can do it. I can throw a punch. Just take it slow. Nice and slow. We're not keeping tension on them. Just nice and easy. We're getting the form of it. Getting that feeling from the legs and hips. It's not just your arms. Feel it from the hips. Oh my god, Rambo. Jesus. My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Okay. Here we go, here we go. Now, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit before we go into Paltron. To really feel that pop, that push from the legs. Okay, now we're going to transition into Paltron. Remember, grab the ground with your toes. Make sure, Paltron, your knees stay out. Make sure your hips stay tucked. Okay, as you need your hips to drive your arms out. It's not just moving your arms out while the rest of your body is just stiff, stagnant. No. It's all about the legs and the hips. It's about the hip helping you to push it out every time. Push them, push them, push them. And remember, as far as breathing goes, you will be throwing more than one punch per breath, and that's okay. In fact, that is what is preferred. Do not start punching quickly and then start. You can hyperventilate. That's very dangerous. Okay, so I'm talking one continuous breath and then in, out again. Okay, full range of motion. None of these tinies, not any of these. Oh, I'm doing full range of motion. No, you're not. You gotta bring your hands back. I'm doing full range of motion. No, you're not. Your elbows are out. Gotta keep them in. Full range of motion means everything. Okay, you ready? Okay. We're out. We're gonna transition into Paltron. Shun Chuan, pull it in. Stance down. Back straight. And you're gonna push it out. This last one, you're gonna pop them open. Straighten your legs. You wanna look up towards the ceiling, not way up, slightly. Open your arms as wide as you can. And bring them in. Squeeze them. Should be at the mid-level. Then you bend your legs. So you're coming back in. And remember, we're doing the 3 different heights. So one comes across the top, one comes across the middle, one comes lower. But remember, we're not squeezing and bending our bodies like this. Keep your body straight. Squeeze this way. Try to feel the connection in your body. Okay, you come across, and now we're gonna pop them open as fast as we can, as wide as you can. Then you squeeze them, comes across, remember, bend the knees when you come back in. Okay, we're going to go to Paltron. Remember, full range of motion. Don't forget to bend your knees on the way in. Straighten them on the way out. Don't start shortening them. You're just doing this now. No, full range of motion. Even if you can't go that fast, that's okay. As long as you're doing it as fast as you can with the full range of motion. Okay? So open up as much as you can. Wide, wide, wide. And then we're going to go into Paltron. pop them open. Don't just pull them open. No, pop them open. Now you're gonna pop them open. Hold them. Now we're going to squeeze them. We're going to transition to the left side horse stance. So you squeezed it in. You're going to pull them up into that X. Now you bend that right knee. And as you transition, just like when we're doing the windmills, when you transition to the left side, and you're about to drive that heel into the ground, take your hands and you pull them down and around. So we're in, you're up, and the X comes around, and when you transition, you drive that heel into the ground, square up your hips, and you come down and around. Okay? I'll do it once more. And really use that, driving that back heel down to really pull those arms down. Okay? And remember, you're gonna have your thumbs back, not too much. You don't have to do these too long, I know it gets you, right? Micah's dying over here, so am I. Okay, so we're down. Thumbs facing the sky. You're not curling up your shoulders, keeping them back. Okay, now remember, the important thing here is that torque, that twist. Start with your pinky and twist that hand back around before you come upward. Okay, so we're here. Okay, then when you're at the top, and again, this is Tai Chi Chuan. We're not full tension. We're just getting full range of motion in the form. So your pinky's in on the way up. Your elbows don't come up here, about here, okay? Then again, it's all about the torque. So try not to do this number, the twist and go, all one motion. No, try to make this its own motion. Just that, just the twist. And then downward. And again, on the way up, twist, then come up. At this point, you should pretty much be all legs. All legs. Because we're not in dynamic tension. you should still feel it in your legs. Okay, this is the time to feel that connection with your hips and your legs. So your hips are square. Back heel is down. And when you go to pull up, as soon as these hands twist before we pull them back up, your legs should be engaged. Your legs should switch gears and be like, oh, we're pulling up now. Okay? So you're pulling up. I'll demonstrate on Micah.
Yeah, 'cause I need to know.
Back. Back. No, not back. Back, arms, arms. Your arms. What is wrong with it?
Put your
No,
arms
your
back.
arms. Arms back. Back straight. So, beautiful form. But as soon as he twists his hands, twist them, his body should totally change tracks and engage to start pulling up. So what I'm going to do to demonstrate to Micah, and you should use this time to practice as well, I'm going to demonstrate to Micah what muscles should be activated here during the pull up. Okay, your back. Okay, twist, pull them up, pull them up, pull them up. Okay. Now you're going to go down. From the hips, from the hips. Don't lean your top body into it, your torso. From the hips. Use your legs to pull it back, back, back. See how you want it to do that? No, it comes from down. Lower. It's like your center of gravity now. It's just all hips. Okay? So you're going to come up again. You see how that back leg had to bend and dig in? Okay? Now you're down. Oh, this one's going to be hard for you. The front leg is what needs to be pulling on that one. Okay? So it's like if we were playing tug of war, right? And we're just pulling against each other. Which leg is it that like is, you know? The front one. Yeah. It's that same tug of war feeling, but it's down. So it's that front one, just like how you were coming up and you used your back leg to like push, you know, push me out of the way. I could tell. So, now exaggerated a little bit so we can see what you just learned. When you go to pull up, see, like his back leg has to bend a bit right away, right when he turns. And then as he straightens it up, that's what's helping him to drive his hips. See, his hips have this forward press now to lift up. Okay? And then as soon as he turns his hands now to go down, notice his whole stance changes. And now he's pulling here back this way. Then as soon as he twists, that knee drops again, and as it straightens up, his hips come forward to lift up. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm sorry, Dee. I'm sorry, Dee. And then he's gonna pull down again. There you go. Really dig in, just like how you have to bend this back leg more when you're first getting ready to pull it up. I want you to bend that front one more when you're getting ready to pull it down. Come on, pop back up. No. Pop up. Pop up. Pop up. Get back.
I'm getting there.
Well, Precariat said you're a great teacher and a very talented practitioner. Sadly, I have 2% battery, so I must sign off. But it's been a genuine pleasure, and I'll definitely check out the other videos the next time I come on. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to catching you next time. Thank you so much, Precariat. And I hope, if anything, there might be a little little nuggets in there that you can add to what you're already doing? Yes, if so, that'd be great. Now, just like how Micah just learned, when you're getting ready to pull up, you have to kind of exaggerate for yourself. Okay? Like you're about to wow, this is a big load I need to lift up, right? You're not just gonna lift like this. No, you're gonna, you're, holding on to the bumper of a semi-truck or something, and you just need to flip it, right? So you're gonna have to bend that back leg a little extra. Right when you turn, immediately you spin those hands around, bend that back leg. And then as you straighten it up, you see my whole body is moving all together. Then when you go to pull down, same thing. As soon as you twist, I want your body to start changing modes without you having to think about it. So as soon as you turn, you bend that front leg a little extra so that your body knows, oh, right, this is the leg. This leg is what's helping me pull down, 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 down. Now, with that in mind now, when we go into Pouchuan, is it just arms? No, it's not. It's your whole body. It's your legs, hips, your core. Everything is getting behind it. So, that's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is you're not putting all the strain in your arms to move them as fast as you can by themselves. It takes a lot of strain, just like when we're doing the windmills. The curse is now that you know the proper form, your body's going to be squeezing out from everywhere instead of just your arms. But overall, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So, now, when we go into Pouchuan, you're going to pull up with that back leg and your hips. Pull it up. And then you're going to bend that front leg, pull it down. And you see it kind of rocks. You bend this front leg a little extra at first, but then it kind of evens out, and then you start pulling back again. Well, after you pull back, what happens? This back leg has that slight bend to it. Perfect for pulling back up. So, with this exercise in general, there is actually a lot of the perpetual motion idea in just this one exercise. Because when you pull down, this leg has straightened out a little bit. This back leg has bent a little bit, but it's started to bend. So now you just kind of finish off that bend it a little bit extra. And now you straighten it up. Now the front leg gets its full bend to it. Then when you pull down, you get a little bit of extra, and it starts pulling back again. So the whole time, your legs are interchangeably boom, 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 constant, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They're just making a circle with each other, okay? So, what does that mean? That means use that momentum that your legs are creating by the circle to propel your arms. It's not just your arms going as much as you can and you're putting all the tension into your shoulders and your back. No, it comes from here. You pull them up, pull them down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You ready? gonna go to Paltron. Paltron. Remember, full range. Okay, Shantron. Again, feel the leg pulling it down. Your leg's pulling it up. Now, we're down. We're going to transition to the right side. So you're going to come up, down. When you're ready to drive that heel into the ground. So from down, you're up, down. All right, let's see it. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to see a little bit more of this leg engaged though. Beautiful. That's him. Okay. So now, same motions as the other side. Use your legs. Legs push and pull. And if you don't have your back heel down on this one, you're in trouble. Okay, we're going to go into Paltron. Use your legs. Shantron. Now from down, you're gonna pull it up to the front. Down. Make your
I need
X.
to know how you do that. I keep missing it.
Okay.
I just want to watch you do it once.
That's fine. So you're down, right? You're gonna pull, right? You don't just bring them up, you still do the pull. Make your X. And down.
So what, you're just stepping into the, and from that position to that? Okay. I just thought it was more technical than
Right. Waddle time. Waddle break. Micah has a problem with my cup holding methods, so he was making fun of me just then. It's the subtleties, you know?
The subtleties or the subtleties? I really didn't know which one you meant.
Okay. Next, we're doing our push-ups. Get as much space as you need. Remember, we do our push-ups a little bit differently, wherein we push-ups on our fists. So, you make a nice tight fist, not a loose one, with your thumb over the bottom, not sticking out like this, not tucked in your hands like this. No, over the bottom, so that you're just firmly on flat knuckle plane. I'll call it the knuckle plane. Also, just like how when you're in your stances, you keep your elbows in. Same thing with this. Your fists are vertical. They're not out like this. Or I guess horizontal. They're vertical. Wherever you would normally put your push-up hands. And you keep your elbows in. We do 3 different speeds. We do the 3 treasures with the push-ups, just like we do with everything else. So on this first section, squeeze out as many as you can, lowering yourself down slowly, and then pushing yourself up as fast as you can. Lower down slowly, push up as fast as you can. Ready?
Mm.
Okay. Gosh. Okay, ready?
This is
Okay, now we're gonna move on to the second speed, which is Paltron. So you go all the way up, all the way down, as fast as you can. And it might not even be that fast. I can't even do them that fast. But I go all the way up, all the way down, as fast as I can, and every time I get a little bit faster. Ready?
Aye.
Hey, don't overdo them.
Oh. I probably already did.
I was trying to get you not to, but you didn't. You didn't follow me. Okay, now we're gonna do Shungtron after this. So what that means is you we're going to hold it at 3 different levels. So we're going to hold our positions at the top. We're going to hold them in the middle. We're going to hold them all the way down. Then we're going to push back up to the middle, hold it again, push to the top, and hold it. Ready?
Hi.
Middle. Down. Middle. Up. Middle. Down. Middle. Up. High. Yeah. What? What are you doing over there? Phew. Okay. Come on, you. Almost done. Okay. In your ready position. Ready position, ready position.
Ready position?
Alright.
Is that ready? Ready? Which ready position?
This is ready position.
Oh.
This guy. Okay. Now, you're going to spread your toes out so that your feet are making the V. And you're going to make sure your heels are pressed together. And you're going to bring your hands up, right, middle of your chest. Not touching your chest, I was just demonstrating. And you're going to lower yourself down as low as you can. Okay, up. Now, you're going to step out to the side. Wide, 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 wide. You're going to turn your feet diagonally to your left. Or you could do the right. Just depends on if you want a mirror image or not. Okay. So it's like you're gonna do a side horse stance, but really wide. And your feet are gonna be diagonal. Really try to bend that front leg. And your arms come up. And you're gonna look through the space where your palms meet. Okay, hands down. Now we're gonna shift to the other side. Same thing. Okay. Bring your Hands back down. Now here's the challenge. Bring your back leg up to your front leg without raising up. So stay low. Bring it in. And we're up. Now, San Yul says, hope you're ready, nearly ready for our fight, kid. And Maximum Gub, get you a 2-piece combo and end your Kung Fu. For some reason, Fu's in all caps. And end your Kung Fu. Now, here come little, right there, yeah. Hands together. Now, let's start with our left leg. You're gonna bring it up, and you're gonna put your ankle on the knee, or just above the knee of your right leg. Like you're sitting in a, like a lawn chair about to kick back and relax. Hands together. And we're gonna lower ourselves down. As low as you can. And we're up. Now we're going to switch sides. Put the right leg on the left knee, right at the ankle. We're going to lower ourselves down. Now, here's another challenge. Can you jump and switch the legs?
That was close.
But we are switching legs. So, back to left leg on top. And we're up. Back to the right leg on top. Oh, we're up.
Sorry. I couldn't hold it. That's right.
Okay, shake the legs out. happens next? Do you?
Aye.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, gonna get in a nice front horse stance. Maximum gub, because it's really good. You're helping the homeless. Good for you, Top Panda. Oh my god. Who's homeless? You ready?
Aye.
Okay. Now, just like last time, you're gonna take your fists, put them together, and you're gonna punch them. Start off easy, get progressively harder, and then on the last one, hold it. We're gonna do 10 of them. Ready?
Aye.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I did too many.
I did one too low, so I did an extra.
Okay, and we're gonna keep these fists not at the chest height like we did with our palms, a little bit lower, about midway, so we're not gonna be all the way down here, about here. It's time to do our squats. So remember, the first speed, we lower ourselves down slowly, then we pop ourselves up as fast as possible. Okay? Try to go down as low as you can, and then your hips come up and forward first, and that kind of flings you upward. Okay? So remember, it always starts with the hips. You come down, and then hips first. Okay, you ready? We're gonna do 18 to start. If you can't do 18 yet, that's fine. Do as many as you can, doing with a good form, as low as you can go, and then using your hips to spring you back up as fast as you can.
Oh, I got a question real quick.
Where did you learn Kung Fu? I learned in Florida at my Kung Fu school that I used to go to. From Sifu Tom Akers. Yeah. If you can't do 18 yet, that's fine. Do as many as you can, while just doing as much as you can, as low as you can go, just bringing yourself up as fast as you can. If you can do 18, then that is awesome. And try to push yourself to go down lower and pop back up faster, and lower and faster, and lower and faster. 'Cause yeah, that's what it's all about. Now, you ready?
Aye.
Okay, I'll count during this first section. E. San. Su. Chi. Wu. Sorry about that. Liu. Chi. Ba. Ju. Shi. 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 Shi San. Shi Zi. Sure Wu. Sure Liu. Sure Qi. Sure Ba. There you go. 18. Now we move on to Pow. So, as you know, Pow, you go as fast as you can. It's okay if it's not that fast. As long as you go as low as you can go, and you come up as fast as you can. Phui. Ready? Count for your sayo.
Aye.
Okay. Here we go. Can't. No, I can't. I can't. I can't.
Can't do the last one.
I can't. No, I can. I can't do it. I can. I can. I can. I can. If he can do it. Now.
Thank you, Maximum Gub, for the 4.
Thanks, Maximum Gulp. For the moral support during these hard and trying times. Okay. Shang Chuan. You just go down as low as you can. As low as you can. Hips tucked under you. Knees out. Don't let your knees go in. Hold it as long as you can. Ready? Okay. Shake them out. Okay. That's nice. Now, to kind of get our legs flowing a little bit, We're gonna do these stretches. Shake them out, shake them out. Shake them out, shake them out. So, like you're standing in your side horse stance. You're gonna bring your back leg up, very low at first, and gradually bring it up higher and higher, as high as you can, nice and straight. Okay, so start off low and bring it back. You shouldn't lose your balance afterwards. Bring it back. You're up, you bring it back. Up again, bring it back. Okay? Just nice and easy, like a pendulum. Just as high as you can. Do the highest you can for a couple, a few. Good. Now we switch. Again. Solid horse stance. When do we learn to do spin kicks and sling blades? We don't do spin kicks, so you've come to the wrong place. We also don't sling blades, so you're at the wrong place for that. But we do work ourselves to the bone. So, if that's what you're in the market for, we got you. And we're up. Just low at first. And again, bring it back. Nice and easy. There we go. Happy go lucky. Everything's beautiful. I don't have jello leg. My legs aren't gonna fall off. 100% right now. Feel great. Love it so much. One more. Bring it back. All right. Now, we're going to do our exercise to breathe, let yourself catch your breath. It also helps to take away a lot of the tension that you might feel at the end of class and kind of reset your body back to normal. Ready? So, stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, and during our last session, number 6, I mentioned briefly how sometimes this exercise in and of itself can be very helpful for other things. If you have just ran a lot, need to catch your breath, this exercise can help your body reset. If you're really angry and you feel like you don't know what's going to do, your blood's boiling, this exercise can help calm you down. If you're nervous, this exercise can calm your nerves. If you feel fatigued in any way, this exercise can help to relax your body, calm your mind. And then, at the end of a session like what we've just had, it's definitely almost a necessity. Ready?
Aye.
Too wide. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So you start off, knees bent. Nice and relaxed, arms down, flat palm. You're going to turn your palms upward, and you're going to inhale, and you're also going to straighten your legs and bring your hands up. Turn them over, exhale, bend the knees. Good. Now, we're going to do our exercise to breathe. Let yourself catch your breath. It also helps to take away a lot of the tension that you might feel at the end of class and kind of reset your body back to normal. Ready?
Aye.
force yourself to take deep, 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 deep breaths. Exhale as much as you can, all of it. One more. Yosh! Alright. Says, oh, okay, I was here for fights. Later, Top Panda. Alright. If you trained with us today, then thank you, and hopefully you were able to see some progress today. Hopefully you were able to go a little bit lower than last time. You were able to hold your stances a little bit longer than last time. You were able to go faster than last time. If you joined in with us and feel like you might want to take it back a pace, then all of these sessions are recorded on video. So head over to number 1 and work your way from there. Yep. If you do review any of the videos on your own and then you have questions, then write them in the comments. Thanks for joining the train sesh, Dawn327. Yeah, just let us know in the comments the next time we're training live and we can review it right there for you. We'll be back on Thursday, 5 p.m. EST, which is our time. And yes, that's it.
Alright.
So not tomorrow, but the day after that. Thursday, 5 p.m. Be there or be a shape that you don't want to be, other than in shape. Alright, we'll do our salute. You need to come up a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay. Jin Kai Shi. Chi So Su. Again, thank you for hanging out with us, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye, Dom327. Adios. Thank you. 谢谢.